Right. I can tell you, like right now, if I told you my blood pressure was 135 over 140, you would go, whoa, Kevin, you got problems, right? We need to get you to a doctor, sit down, because you're going to pass out or die, right? We know that instinctively, right? And it should be the same with our kidney numbers, which is why we're pushing, and we really thank you guys for being on board with helping us push we're going to have a new tool available next week on the website, because we want to create a partnership between the patient and the doctor to say, hey,
this should be a partnership.
This should be a partnership on that.
We're working together for good outcomes for me as a patient, but I've got to know what my numbers are. You can't tell me I'm fine and not give me absolute numbers. Nobody would call the bank. Tell your little bank.
Yeah, so I always give, because I'm from the banking finance industry. It'd be like you calling me up or logging into your accountant and saying, "Hey, how much money I got?" Because you want to buy something or do something, and they go, "Oh, you got enough."
You got enough?
You're like,
you got enough.
Well, how much
Don't worry about it.
Well, I want to buy X.
You good?
You good?
Yeah.
You better than average.
I'll let you know when you're getting close to zero.
You would lose your mind.
Like nobody would accept that. That's an unacceptable idea, and for us, the reason why we really have hand selected who we would work with is because the people that we serve have had just enough for long enough. And it's time that in terms of our health, we get the best.
Yeah. And what you find out is that, because we're B1, right? We're Black first. And initially when I come in to see this, I think they're just doing this to Black people. And I get like all hyped up and mad. And, but once I start talking to people, right, we see them doing it to white people. We see them doing it to brown people, Black people, and we see them doing it across the spectrum of not having the conversation. You guys aren't poor, right? You're doing average. You're educated. You have a college degree, right? But yet people still aren't communicating the information. So I can only imagine what someone like my mother, like I've been getting on to my mom, right? Who's not college educated. She's got like a 10th grade education, right? And I'm saying, hey, Mom, here, let me walk you through the questions you need to ask. And then the doctor's telling her, hey, I'll tell you when something's wrong. What? No.
That's literally what her doctor just told her this week. That when she asked him for her kidney numbers, hey, can you give me my kidney function? He said, your kidneys are fine. I'll tell you if there's something wrong with them.
And that's crazy. It's unacceptable because it's not a team.
You won't give me the numbers? Yeah. You won't give me the numbers on me. I'm not asking you to tell me about something else. You won't give me the numbers? No, that's not how this is going to work.
And everybody should know and they should know their blood type as well.
Exactly.
And that's really interesting, Tiffany, what you said about knowing when you're in maybe like stage 1 or 2, they won't say anything to you. So what number are we talking about? Like maybe in stage 1 or 2, so that people will understand how to interpret.
You're in stage 1. If you stage 1, your kidneys are functioning fairly healthy, right? So you're between like 90 and 85. I forgot. I don't have the document with me.
So what we put together on our toolkit, it shows you what the range of numbers are for each stage, so you can see it. And we didn't come up with this ourselves. We took it from the National Institute of Health. We took it from KDIGO.
Yeah, the research has it.
We went and pulled what the peer-reviewed research says on this, and we had one of the best doctors in the country go through it and then put it through a panel of other amazing physicians, so that the foundation would have the standard, the gold standard of how we would test this, what people need to look at.
And it's a matrix, right? So on one side, and this is if you go to KDIGO, and I'll include you on the test run of it as well, where you look down on the right side of it, it has EGFR, estimated glomericular filtration rate, right?
Glomerular
filtration rate. I went to public schools, so give me a break. So
no problem, public school.
So on the left side of it, it gives you what the rate, what what each stage is, right? And it gives you the filtration rate. And then on the top side, it gives you damage, right? Which is ACR, albumin creatinine ratio, right? So this is very common information. So you look at the EGFR, and then you go over and you look at what your albumin to creatinine ratio. If you have an albumin greater than 30, you have kidney damage. And there's medications that are available that can help right now that can help prevent and preserve your kidney function by reducing the amount of damage you continue to incur.
So,
right?
So a lot of doctors focus, I think, more too on the creatinine levels.
Yeah.
Yep, they do.
Yeah, the creatinine levels, because I know mine is 1.1, which is normal. Because if you go outside of 1.1, like 1.2, you get up there.
Yeah.
So like 0.9 to 1.1.
Right. I think that's the thing. So after you donate a kidney, 6 months out, they test you, they look at your levels, at kidney function. And I never knew how to interpret that. They call me and they go over and they're like, everything is okay. But this is really interesting to know because I do want to track that myself. And you're saying anything over 30 means that there's some kidney damage.
There's damage, and it's in the literature. What's funny about this whole thing is when I left Merrill Lynch last year and I came working, so I'm a nerd, right? So I do the same things that I would have done at Merrill Lynch, right? Which is one, let's figure out what's running everything. What are the underlying structures that run everything? So I literally went in and started reading all of the literature. Tiffany had some of her egghead doctor friends send me a bunch of literature, and I just started combing through the research folks combing through all of this and going, oh my God, why didn't I should know? People should at least know this. There's some complications like with the kidney that go like into some really, if this, then that, if this, then that. I don't need to know that. I just need to know, track my numbers. Here's what my numbers are. Here are the things that impact my numbers. So just like I would with my blood pressure, right? I know that I can't sit there and eat tacos all day. Right? My blood pressure is going to go up. I can't drink bourbon no matter how good it is. I have to reel all that stuff in. And to know those numbers, there is a minimum amount of information we should know so that we can track our health and make lifestyle adjustments.
Well, 80% of all dialysis could be prevented. And that's by the Medical Education Institute. They came up with that number. They, that's an award-winning program. They've been around for 30 years. And when I saw that, probably about 5 years ago, then I was like, what does that look like? What does it look like? And one, I knew it was early detection, so we'd have to have the most robust early detection program. So that would mean to get a full picture of your kidneys, you would have to have estimated glomerular filtration rate, and you would have to have albumin creatinine ratio, because that's going to give you both. You've got a full picture. You've got the blood estimated glomerular filtration rate. And then with albumin creatinine ratio, you've got urine. The damage. So that was what we were doing was figuring out how do we put together the full package, and we have. And then the other part was how do we get the doctors on board with communicating to patients? Right. And that's what we're really excited about. Well, how do we open up the communication lane? And we feel like it's twofold. It's not simply the doctors. Yes, doctors have to be educated, because there's a major piece there that's not happening because you have two different types of doctors that are working with patients. Stages 1 through 3, you're generally with a primary care practitioner, either a nurse practitioner or a doctor. And then once diagnosed, you're moved over to a nephrologist. And the two don't necessarily talk. What we found is that those two specialties are not talking. The specialist is not talking very much with the practitioner.
And that's true. That's true, because my nephrologist, You know, the reason he talks with my other one because they're friends. Even they had 2 different hospitals because they don't really give him the information that so he'd have me doing his own blood work. And I did my other blood work from the people at Keck, USC Keck, because they the one did the kidney transplant. But my nephrologist, he would call his friend, which was, you know, one of the lead doctors, and he did talk to him about me. So that's why I like this doctor over in Long Beach. He was pretty good.
So, and that's different, right? Because because in most cases,
if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for him being a friend, it'd probably be hard for him to get information from over there.
Yeah,
it would be.
And, you know, and it shouldn't be. It should not be.
And the thing that we're excited about is we're really excited that you guys have graciously given us your time. You know, especially with you, we want to. You know, we'll talk out the details of you. I would love both of you there to talk to the experts, right? So it's not just us coming with it, but it's someone who's given a kidney and someone who's received a kidney, interviewing our experts and giving you a segment on the show to air that and bring that and help us further bring it to people's attention and everything.
Using your platform for that.
What's been stressed to me, and maybe, you know, everyone who's donated is now you have one kidney. So you have to, like you were saying, Kevin, you know, I need to watch my blood pressure.
You're not drinking brown liquor.
No, exactly. So there are things, you know, if you had a certain lifestyle before you know, pre-donation, now that lifestyle may have to change a bit.
Yeah.
But you are going in and you're having the test done. And so we need to understand what the numbers mean.
Yeah.
How to interpret those numbers.
You just touched on something that I think we need to talk about too, which is lifestyle, because a lot of what's in the literature, in the peer-reviewed papers about kidney disease, and one of the reasons why we chose the physician that oversees Texas Kidney Foundation's testing and educational programs is because he wrote prolific studies on veganism and kidney disease. And he was so successful in his work with that, in his initial studies, that he was able to build he just has built out so many programs, and that inspired me to do what we're doing right now. But it's the food,
and he's successfully
what we're eating, and just even looking at that.